15 all. 13-12 it was after the first quarter. It's good understanding between Maturdo and Souness.
She's very good at her spatial awareness, Maturdo, knowing when to pop, where her space is behind her. Jury just getting caught not taking her feet to that, just dabbling with her arm. She could have had that if she actually came round in front and taken her feet to the ball.
And it's all tied up again at 16 all. And looking at the penalties overall, it's very even again, 15 to each, the Pulse and the Tactix. And that is the score at the bottom, 16 Pulse, 16 Tactix.
Good lines, team! Pop off. See that one there? Get her to pop all the way on it instead of trying to drag along the front with T. Just pull off.
Yeah, I know, I'm trying to get it the ball.
Yeah. Look, great finish, Mills. Is it close? Close. Well done, Chris. Close. That's it. Move. Find again. Go it. Move. Find early.
Contact when you attack.
Nice, Cal. Good work.
Well, that's pretty revealing, isn't it? And how much you ride every pass as a coach.
You can see just the strength of Jury. You heard Cruz say that, you know, the Jury wanted her to stay on that 3-foot mark a little bit longer. She nearly had done.
Well, this is what they're playing for, a place in the Silver Ferns to go to the Netball World Cup in South Africa. And it all starts on the 28th of July. You can see it all here on Sky Sport. Oh, the hands of Jury. And inside netball, and it gives you everything that you didn't know, that you thought you did know, and you just need to know. There's some big collisions, and that is just the commitment, really, and the desire and the intent to get the ball.
Yeah, well, it was great availability coming through from Whitney Souness, coming all the way up. Wing attack to get that. Malcolm just a little untidy there.
Well, this is a great opportunity for the Pulse just to get a couple and give themselves a bit of breathing space.
There's that back space again to Wormsley. It's working well for the Pulse. That third second.
Well, they've got the 2-goal lead and they've got the centre pass, so this is a right real opportunity just to get that 3-goal buffer. With the Pulse going at a better conversion rate in their centre pass, which is what you're looking for. Straight away the pass, and Wormsley knew where it was coming and retrieved it from Maturdo.
She's certainly standing up to the ferocious defence of Watson and Berger, isn't she, Wormsley? She's absorbing the pressure and not afraid to take the ball up high, and sitting on 14 from 16 so far, so doing a great job.
Obstruction, goalkeeper.
Well, you asked for Kelly Jury to put a bit more pressure on those Tactix shooters. I think she's done that in the second quarter. Not on that occasion, but that's the difference. We saw it on that graphic where the quarter is at. We're, halfway through the second quarter, and they've got a handy wee lead, have the Pulse.
Yeah, I think the lean certainly is effective on Dunn. She's got, great height. She needs to use those long arms to her advantage.
Oh, the confidence just to give.
Go, go.
Yeah, she's holding great angles, Wormsley, and as a result, the middies know where the space is. She's making it very easy.
21-18. looking a little more static from the Tactix. They haven't got that flow they had in that first quarter.
Yeah, just that last phase of play done, and Selby Rickett getting caught behind Jury and Manawa. But the speed of Souness off the centre pass, that's her strength. You can see there Maturo, she just hangs out at the wing, she just sort of scopes out the space, what to do, and then gets the ball and she goes. She's very crafty. Good netball brain.
It's quite a low release point, isn't it, from Walmsley? But she's answering the call, and the pass is coming in so quickly, and she's there and she's getting it. That was the test that we were interested to see against Berger and against Watson.
We'd have to say this is the best defensive combination in the Premiership. Well, I think so, Berger and Watson. So it's a big challenge for Walmsley to come up against two very experienced defenders, and she's certainly rising to the challenge.
And they're the cleanest duo in the competition as well, Watson and Berger.
Well, I think Berger's in the best form she's ever been. She's come back from her injury. She looks amazing. She's fit. She's fast. You know, she's so powerful and got such great strength. And as a result, it's reflecting in her performance out on court. She can get ball and she doesn't involve the umpire. She's fit enough to come around cleanly.
Full contact, goal defence. Where you are, goal shoot. Yes. Side and away, goal defence.
I've got you.
Again, Walmsley going at 17 from 19, 89%.
She's put up more ball than Dunn down the other end of the court. Down on 14 from 16. Great take, Laura Malcolm.
Oh, and meanwhile, Jury and Dunn down on the deck.
Kicking the ball, wing attack, free pass. It's a free pass, you're not out of play.
It's reactive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not allowed to kick the ball in netball.
No, exactly. But sometimes you just don't have an opportunity to get out of the way. Just looking a little more pressured here.
Hard luck, Ioane.
Wing defence. It's out, inside. Obstruction goalkeeper. Back, goal, that's it.
And a good finish. Yeah, it's just, you know, it could go anywhere.
And I think the umpire knew that it was not intentional.
Oh, beautiful in the air. Berger wins it. Fantastic. They liked it.
Hardcore Canterbury supporters right there, Leslie.
You're whānau. 2 in a row for the Tactix.
As we see the athleticism of Berger to come from behind. She went strong with two hands.
All that core body strength, isn't it? S&Cs.
Yeah, all helps. Great tip, Kelly Jury.
Great tip.
Very similar. She came away with the away arm.
Well, that's what you asked her to do, is to win more ball for the Pulse, and she's doing that, Kelly Jury.
A bit of a confusion there, where to set the penalty. Jane Watson thought, nah, I'm going to take the ball.
Oh, good work to fire Selby Rickett. All kinds of defence coming on. It's a phenomenal lean, isn't it, from Kelly Jury to be able to use that and not obstruct.
Yeah, we saw a real shift in Jury, I think, last year when she got Player of the Series. Her game went to another level, and you know, it was great to see, because I think she was travelling for a long time just at the same pace, and last year she really set herself from the rest of the defenders, and let's hope that she can continue that in a World Cup year.
You're on.
Contact, goal fence.
And goal number 24 for the Pulse into the last minute and a half in this second quarter. It's fraught those little passes. They are so pressured.
It's obstruction goal attack.
Another win for Jury.
Well, we've talked a lot about Jury, but it's the combo, isn't it, with Manua.
Turlo doing a very good job at popping the top of the circle. Just opens it up slightly.
Oh, clever work. What a feed. Just drawing out the two defenders and then popping it in behind. And again, a 2-goal advantage into the last 40 seconds.
That's obstruction goal attack.
She got in front again.
It was never going to get to Walmsley with Berger in front.
Contact wing attack.
And holding time, 19 seconds left on the clock before we go to the half-time break.
Centre.
And it'll be all defence from the Pulse. They try and
Delaying play,
repel.
it's a caution. We're going to bring it in. Step back halfway centre.
And that's on Maddie Gordon.
By the centre. It's a caution. Next step is a warning.
On the caution, Maddie Gordon. And they've got not many seconds to go to get it in. Holding time.
Play goal
10.
attack. It's a caution. Bring it in.
It was all about hands on deck to try and stop this ball going into that shooting circle. So 2 cautions for
contact centre.
time. 2 seconds. In fact, the hoot is gone. No, and they won't get a chance to take it either because we've gone to the half-time break. So they did a great job, the Pulse, and it is half-time, and they do have the 2-goal advantage. They've got the smarts over the Tactix, 25-23.
Montego Bay, it's back! A 3-day race over 200 miles. 150 cyclists compete for a purse of over $11,000. Witness cycling at its best. The second staging of the Jamaica International Cycling Classic 2023, March 31 to April 2 on your home of champions.
No mai, hoki mai, ki Rangiora, where the Pulse are currently leading the Tactix 25-23. Well, Annie, both teams have won one quarter each. Kamurupo in particular doing a fantastic job of finding that circle edge.
Yeah, gosh, it's ferocious out there, isn't it? It's got all the intensity, but Kimi Orapoi certainly for the Tactix. She's getting so many circle edge feeds. She's getting great goal assists. So, you know, her ability to give and get with Laura Malcolm has been outstanding for the first half of netball. Important that, you know, they rise to the challenge in the second half. We saw last week against the Steel that they didn't win the second half and they lost the last quarter, the Tactix. That will be in the back of their mind, so they'll want to come out strong. But really good start for Kimi Orapoi. And at wing attack, we've seen her get a couple of good intercepts too, which is always what you love as a wing attack.
Yeah, love seeing that defensive pressure from Kimi Orapoi. Well, let's look to the away side. Amelia Wormsley in particular, shooting 90% at the moment, but as you mentioned in commentary, up against probably the best defensive combination so far.
Yeah, you'd have to say Berger and Watson, you know, are the number one defensive pairing, and boy, Wormsley is rising to the challenge. What I'm liking about her is her ability to hold. She's letting that space, you know, allowing that space on the back line. The middies are giving good ball and, you know, putting up some good accurate passes, so it's good.
Yeah, well, we spoke about the Pulse mid-quarters in the build-up. We said that sometimes the connection is there, sometimes it isn't. So far, how have you seen it?
You know, I like Gordon and what Souness are doing. Souness, for me, very fleet-footed. She's fast. She's getting good position on that circle edge. You know, Gordon's picked up a few good passes as well, and they're giving good service of ball into Wormsley, and Maturo's doing a great job popping the goal circle as well. So I think the connections that we perhaps weren't seeing last week from the Pulse when they lost to the Stars, they've got that in the first 30 minutes so far.
And just for the Tactix, what do you think Marianne Delaney-Hoshik will say to her team in the half-time?
I think down that attack end, Dunn and Selby Rickett, I think for me, Jury really had the better of Dunn in that quarter. So I think at times they get on the back foot. They need to just come round and offer more that front option.
Well, don't forget, following tomorrow's match between the Tactix and the Magic, Netball Zone is coming up. Myself and Coco Tari will be hosting that, and here's what's to come.
All right, netballers, we're calling you to get your groove on. Grab your teammates, all ages and stages, and see if you can do it better than the ANZ girls. To go into the draw, head over to the Sky Sport TikTok page. Learn the dance, grab the sound, and remember to hashtag NetballZone in your entry. You'll be in to win over $2,000 worth of Puma gear to fully kit you and your netball team out. Make sure to follow them over on Instagram at Puma New Zealand.
Catch that and more following the final whistle between the Tactix and the Magic tomorrow night. Well, Annie, what do you expect from the Pulse in the second half?
Well, I think if they can carry the momentum that they've just put forward in that second quarter, I think they're doing a great job on attack. I think Kelly Jury's getting some great ball. I think the lean is certainly working over Dunn, so if she can keep putting pressure on Dunn, they'll push on in this game.
Well, we can expect a battle to come in the second half between the Pulse leading the Tactix 25-23. Of course, there's battles all over the court, and I look forward to seeing them in the second half. As mentioned, don't go away. More action coming to you live on Sky Sport following this break.
We are live here in Rangiora. It is the 20th venue that ANZ Premiership have used, so just inland and slightly north of Christchurch. It is the home team, the Tactix, who are 2 behind the Pulse, 25-23. So let's get the inside goss in the Tactix, and Laura Malcolm has joined Cruz Tangira.
Laura, thank you so much for your time. Down by 2 heading into the second half. What needs to change leading into this third quarter?
I think we just need to capitalise off the ball that we're winning, because we're winning a lot of ball. Our setups are working. We need to win more and capitalise off it.
Well, speaking of capitalising off winning that ball, do you feel like those connections are happening down that attacking end?
Yeah, I think when we've got our flow and we're letting the ball go, it's really, really nice. It's just when we're becoming a little bit hesitant, that's when we're getting a bit stuck. So it's just being confident in what we're doing, because it works really nicely.
And lastly, what was mentioned in the change rooms at half-time?
Oh gosh, have we got an hour to talk about it? We had a million conversations on setups and what we're letting go. Too much to talk about.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Oh, pretty honest, wasn't she, Laura Malcolm? So let's hear from the Pulse now and their very talented goal attack, Tiana Maturados with Cruz. Well, let's have a look at some of those amazing outfits too. I mean, that's what you come to see, don't you? A bit of... I love getting out here, hanging in, getting the vibe and getting the rhythm.
The vibe is certainly here in Rangiora. They are getting into it, the Cantabs, and it's been a great game so far. As we take a look at the stats, look, there's not much in it. Attempts at goal, Pulse have had a couple more than the Tactix. Great goal shooting percentages. You know, the Magic, they set the benchmark last night, and the Tactix and Pulse are continuing on. Centre pass conversion, not good enough from the Tactix, and we'll want to be higher too for the Pulse. Intercepts there in favour of the Tactix. And individual stats there. Well, we talked Amelia Wormsley up. She's doing a fantastic job in that goal circle, up against some pretty ferocious defence in Watson and Berger. And Dunn and Selby Rickett doing a good job too.
At the Tactix defence, and we know that you've talked about, and I've talked about, Card and Berger, Jane Watson just getting better and better with every outing.
Yeah, well, you know what I like about them, and you talked about it, is that they don't involve the umpire much. You know, they've both done the work in the off-season. They're looking fit. They're looking like they've, you know, put the hard yards in. And when you do that, you can come away with clean ball. You feel confident in your ability, and you've got the courage to leave your player and actually go for ball, because you know you've done the work and you can get it. So, you know, it's all coming together for the Tactix defence.
Nice to see some Pulse supporters in here as well. That's always good. I have to yell pretty loudly because it is a red and black crowd. Rangiora and Tapaya Selby Rickett and Christiana Anua doing battle again. The whistle has gone for the beginning of the third quarter, and the work is on for the Tactix to get that seamless transition in that shooting circle and feed.
It was a better seal from Dunn. I'd like to see perhaps her pop up those goals.
Well, let's go over to Yvette McCausland-Jury. Yvette, we heard you after the first quarter ask a little bit more of Kelly Jury. She certainly delivered in that second quarter for you.
Yeah, been impressed. She's getting good distance and holding her line. She's got an awesome lean, and it's a real superpower of hers. Hoping that she might be able to get a few turnover balls, but yeah, that's the same in the whole defence. And it's so tight, isn't it?
Talking about superpowers, Yvette, down the other end of the court, Wormsley, how good has she been?
Yeah, been impressive. I mean, it's physical, and she's really learning each week to stand up to that physicality and start to find her own feet. And I think Tiana's leading really nicely with her and giving her good control.
Really impressed with the smarts that your team used at the end of that second quarter as well, Yvette. I mean, they know how to win, don't they? Important moments.
Well, we're about to find out. This is always a tough bit at the back end, isn't it? So, look, it's a huge battle. They certainly weren't pleased with what they put it together last week, so hopefully they can get a better performance.
Well, thanks so much for your insights. We really appreciate it.
Ngā mihi.
Tapaya Selby Rickett gets goal number 24 for the Tactix. It's 25-24. And Maddie Gordon and Whitney Souness. She is so quick, Whitney Souness, but this is a turnover time for the team wearing red.
Yeah, sometimes too quick for their own good there. There's a pass, just needs to have a little bit more care on it. Much better positioning from Dunn, getting that front position. Really important over Jury.
26 all it is. Just a couple of adjustments to make on that all-important score. And again, that ball much easier feed into Dunn.
Yeah, she's just posting up there and creating a good angle. So that was a nice feed from Malcolm.
27 plays 26. It's all about the third quarter. How often do you hear that? The championship quarter.
Good pressure from the Tactix.
And straight into Walmsley, and she backed her shooter to pick up that hard ball on Berger again, gets a tip away.
We probably just needed to change the pace of that pass from Walmsley to Maturo, but Maturo still got it. Sometimes when it's coming down at a frantic pace, just that last pass just needs to have a bit of a backspin on it, just to mix it up a bit.
Well, she's got 3 centimetres on the defenders, Walmsley, and she is getting up big and strong and holding her own, but they're doing so well, Watson and Berger, aren't they, that they are shorter.
Yeah, they're athletic defenders for sure. And they are sort of the benchmark in this ANZ Premiership.
27 all it is. Straight away, that is slick, and a sweet little combo between Tobias Selby Rickett and Aaliyah Dunn. So they have the lead, the Tactix, by 1.
Ama Ioane, we haven't talked much about her in today's game. She does a lot of work on the centre pass for the Pulse.
Walmsley from a long way out, trying to even it up. So it will stay with Maturo, and it's just the 1. We have the Tactix ahead by 1. And that's nice and bright for you to see on the bottom right of your screen. Oh, Watson.
There's the timing, her anticipation, so strong.
And a nice little softer pass that time from Sinclair. That is sweet work.
Yeah, lovely give and get from Poi as well. Those are the ones that will need to go in.
Well, she's missed a couple of those now with Jury, with that fantastic reach that she's got. And this is the Pulse's opportunity to tie it all up at 28. Big collision there between Watson and Maturo. Neither player gave an inch, did they?
Thought Maturo might have got pulled there for the contact.
It's almost double teaming on Dunn as Selby Rickett gives it a lovely little bit of flick and a nice bit of spin on the ball.
Well, that's her strength as a goal attack, isn't it? If you double team Dunn, Selby Rickett, she puts up the long shots, as we can see there in the replay.
29-28 it is to the Tactix.
Contact, goal defence, yes, there, goal attack,
clever play from Maturo, recognising the space behind her, getting herself close to the goal.
Oh, tipped back into Watson's grateful hands. And looking up, a couple of options there. Berger had to feed it, and a quick pass into Dunn again. Look at that reach from Jury, it is phenomenal.
Good phase of play from the Tactix.
Oh, the instructions coming from the back as well. 30-28, the Tactix ahead by 2. We are having a little issue with the Tactix, with the graphic, but we've got the score line. It is 30-28. Now this time Jury says, what you can do down your end, I can do down mine.
Second game, but I feel like it might might be more for Jury.
Will be trying to exit that ball in the middle. Souness with the big yell. Well, she was going to give it, and she gave it in the end. Berger was in the front, but she just couldn't quite get there because Walmsley was strong in the air. And a beautiful shot to finish as well. So 30 plays 29.
Only missed 2, Nellie Walmsley.
Tactix ahead by 1. Neck and neck. They were down by a couple, the Tactix at half-time. They've come back. And the Pulse looking to counteract. You know, that gather from Souness in the pass straight away is so quick, isn't it?
Goal defence.
Yeah, it's a real strength of hers, isn't it? As a wing attack. She's quick on the release, she's quick on her footwork. As we see Walmsley there, again, just holding a great angle. Nice and easy for Matuido to pop the pass over.
Just be aware of the stamping.
30 all. It is the Pulse 30, it is the Tactix 30. And 6 minutes and a bit left to go in the third quarter. It's gone very quickly. Oh, Gordon got the tip away and then asked for possession. Good on her.
Really hard to get those as a midi. You know, you're going back at such pace, but to then get up as well. So it was great work from Gordon.
Oh, holding the dress, keeping her on balance.
As we see Gordon doing that backing up, as we call it. Couldn't quite get it, but she got a hand to ball.
And then turned around and wanted possession, which is fair enough. It's gamesmanship, that's what you need, isn't it? Love it. Oh, she's done so well, Amelia Walmsley. She really has stood up. $31 all. Dunn coming a long way out. Hurries back into position, and Selby Rickett. Oh, she did well. Degree of difficulty high to get that one in.
She's only shot 9 goals, Selby Rickett, but she does a lot of work, doesn't she, around the circle?
Sure does.
Creating those spaces at the back for Dunn. Lovely work from Walmsley. The high ball wasn't on, so she changed her angle, wanted the low ball, and it was a lot harder for Watson to come around and get.
A tough pass. Straight away they take the ball. There's a lot of fraught passes, aren't there, to get the ball away. Sinks through the net from Dunn. And it's the 1 goal advantage with 4.5 minutes left in this third quarter. 33-32. Oh, Jane Watson, that is just sensational. How quick from the young mother.
We could hear her coming from where we were sitting. Boy, impressive. And these are the intercepts that the Tactix really need to make use of now. It's so close that any defensive ball they get, they've got to convert to goal.
Oh.
That's her strength, Watson. She comes from nowhere. Great timing. And Selby Rickett seals it down the other end. Look at that. Textbook defence.
She started on the back line, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that really didn't do her justice. She was just motoring. And the good news for the Tactix is that they were able to convert, and it was a confident shot from Tobias Selby Rickett. So a mini run from the Tactix. They've got the last 3, and they are 35-32 ahead. What will the Pulse's reply be? Because we've seen what smarts they have. They are clever. They know how to get through the tough times. They're not the most successful franchise in ANZ Premiership for nothing.
Yeah, that's a great front cut from Souness. Yeah, they've got experience. They've got a coach that knows how to read the game very well. Looks like we're going to be going into the last quarter, but very close.
Oh, clever feed from Gordon. Let's not forget, before the Pulse won their 3 titles, 19, 20 and 22, they were runners-up twice. And so they knew what it was like, the hurt to lose in the final, and then they got their 3 titles in 4 seasons.
Yeah, often you need to lose a few before you know how to win a few.
3 goals in it. It's the Tactix 36, it's the Pulse 33. 2 minutes 20 left.
Contact on the track. It's in a third. It's obstruction,
Gee,
wing
nip and
defence.
tuck, Anna Stanley, isn't it? There's tiny little things. Oh, Watson, she's just been captain fantastic, isn't she?
It's the pass from Gordon into Wormsley. Watson just getting caught outside the circle.
Oh, reacted well to Claire Selby Rickett. Got the call from Dunn.
Need to do more of that. Dunn on the baseline. Selby Rickett's very good with that shooter-to-shooter connection. Oh, Toy and Malcolm getting pretty close to those balls. So that was the accumulative pressure. We saw Toy go for it, she didn't get it. We saw Malcolm go for it, she didn't get it, and it was the 3rd time. Just goes to show you, you may not get ball, but if you're applying that pressure as a team, you get the gains eventually.
Oh, she's so quick, isn't she? Ioane did so well down there. She just bided her time. Came in with the big arm and
it's a caution.
got the tip away.
The next step is a warning. Next to the wing defence.
Now that's on Greer Sinclair. Just puts... Watson is just... We have to check to see whether she's got something special in her shoes, haven't we?
She's got something special in her drink.
But it's the anticipation. Never say die. I mean, I called her captain fantastic because she has been the captain and she is a true leader in that back 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I think once you're a leader, you never, even if you're not captain of a team, you never stop leading out on court. She certainly, pushes this Tactix side to be the best that they can. She leads from the front.
And then it goes with just a second left on the clock. There is the buzzer. The crowd are happy because they've turned around that half-time deficit, which was 25-23. It's now to the Tactix 38-20-35.
Montego Bay, it's back! A 3-day race over 200 miles. 150 cyclists compete for a purse of over $11,000. Witness cycling at its best. The second staging of the Jamaica International Cycling Classic 2023, March 31 to April 2 on your home of champions.
We are back here, and it is the Tactix with that 3-goal advantage, 38-35. Oh my goodness, Kelly Jury. Well, she's been sensational, especially from the second quarter onwards, Anna Stanley.
Yep, slower start in that first quarter, but boy, she has come to the party, hasn't she? She really disrupted in that second quarter. But, you know, I thought in that third quarter done, and Selby Rickett just tweaked a few things and were presenting more on that front option. But it's her lean, it's her ability to go for ball, which has been impressive. So it's been a big step up for Jury today.
Yes, it has. And what do you think the Tactix did in that third quarter that gave them the win in that third quarter?
Well, I think for one, Dunn and Selby Rickett were being available on that first phase a little bit more. I thought it works well with Dunn on the baseline, Selby Rickett creating that space at the top, and that shooter-to-shooter combination connection always works well. Defensively, I thought, Poi picked up some good ball. Malcolm, they were applying pressure through the middle, and as a result, Jane Watson has really come to the party and picked up some fantastic ball at the back.
Yes, she most certainly has. Low penalties too. 32, the Tactix, 24, the Pulse. It's all about the speed of the game and the skills that we've seen on show here. And if you're wondering, between these two teams, since 2008, these two sides have met 37 times. Pulse winning 25, Tactix 12. That's across the Championship and Premiership. So we are about to start the fourth quarter, and here we are underway. The Pulse with the work to do. Now, we saw them come out in that second quarter, and they changed it up, Anna, and they did.
Contact, wing defence.
Well, let's go across to Cruz Tangida, because he has got some more intel for us.
I do, Leslie. Well, shooting specialist Donna Wilkins was very happy with the timing of his shooters. Very happy with also the options they're presenting to the mid-quarters as well. Head coach Marianne Delaney-Hoshek asking for more front cuts and to narrow down those areas, but happy with the timing down the attacking end. Down the defensive end, it was actually player-led, with Watson asking for more effort from those around her and just wanting the conflict between herself and Berger to pick up.
Thanks for those insights. What do you make of that, Anna?
Yeah, well, I think, Donna Wilkins is on point. I thought, Dunn and Selby Rickett certainly in that quarter did present a lot stronger options, and as a result it was easier for the feeders to look in. Always good that Watson's demanding more from her players around her. She wants more ball. They say that defence wins the big games. It needs to be all 7 of them out of court.
Well, they've protected their position here beautifully, the Pulse. Happy to get it around cross court and wait for the opportunity. Looks a bit more grim than we've seen her. She's been pretty relaxed up until now, hasn't she?
Very pensive, hasn't she?
Oh, looking for the 3 seconds, asking for it, the Pulse.
Good patience from Malcolm at times. I have talked about her turning to the backs too soon, but she kept staying on the front, and as a result, space opened up on the baseline.
ANZ Premiership points up for grabs for these two sides, wanting to make a statement. Round 4 action it is. The other thing about Amelia Walmsley is when she does move, it's very economical, isn't it?
Yes, she doesn't have to move far. Well, because she uses her body so well, she utilises her height, and she's strong in the air, so she doesn't need to move off the line of the ball too soon. So when you do that, you lose the ball.
Oh, great rebounding.
Contact, goal defence good side.
And in it goes, and the 3-goal advantage is preserved, and the red and black faithful have come out here at Rangiora. Straight in.
Oh, what a take.
A free Walmsley.
Yeah, but great cover from Watson. She didn't allow Walmsley to get back into her favoured position.
Oh, terrific work. That is excellent from Walmsley.
Oh, she's showing her ability to take that high ball with some pretty fierce defence over her.
Staying strong in the air, that's the impressive part. There's certainly no fragility in her game.
Position.
She's calling for it done, it's not coming to her. Yeah. Oh, that was just between the two defenders. It was just a little opening. I guess when you're coaching and you see those bits come off that you've trained, it is a happy time, isn't it?
Learning from the best, Donna Wilkins. She'll be giving them the masterclass of utilising space and timing in that circle. She is the best at it.
Well, she's in her home turf too, isn't she? Woodend, Ramiora.
Donna Wilkins territory.
Yeah, I saw parents in the crowd here. Yeah. The Lothagans are here.
She went to Rangiora High. Here she is. A woman of many talents, was Sky Sport commentator last night down in Invercargill and sitting on the bench now for the Tactix.
Thought she did a grand job as well down there. And mum of three as well. Wife.
Nice work from Dunn.
43-40 it is, 3 in it, and there's 10 minutes left in the match. And the tip away, the coveted possession.
Hands first, goalkeeper, from the side.
Great pick up from the Tactix.
Four in it.
Contact, goal, third wing defence.
Still very physical, isn't it? Both players going for the ball in every pass.
So important to do that zero phase. You talk about getting the player off your back, doing the work off the ball.
Look at the defence coming on from the Tactix. Oh, way arm from Gordon.
The crowd called that one.
Well, I couldn't even hear the whistle. The crowd was so loud. A little hot pass into Dunn. Will she turn and shoot?
Yeah, those are the ones I just think at times she does need to turn and shoot, even if it's just to get jury off her. So she gets her 3 feet, she retreats, and then she can give and go, and she's got a little bit of space to work with.
Let it go, goalkeeper. Contact, goal defence.
She's in there and mixing it is Aaliyah Dunn. And has she stood up too and got stronger as the matches progress?
14 from 16, 88%. Trademark for Tuaro. Give and get into the circle.
45-41. Tactix ahead. 8 minutes left in the match. Oh, she gets herself free, doesn't she, Laura Malcolm, really well.
Yeah, and that was a lovely roll. Seal and present. Done in the circle.
But I don't know that the players can hear much out on court. Talked about how close the crowd is to the court, and that players love it. They love it. And Tiana Maturo. Business as usual from her.
Clever play from Toy, just using Sinclair to gain some ground.
Could see Manua coming, and she didn't stay in the fight to pie Selby Rickett. And they've got a really valuable turnover here, and they need it, the pulse. They're 4 down.
Yeah, they deserve that, the pulse.
Goal kick.
You see Manoa coming from behind with 2 hands.
Reduce the deficit to 3. The Pulse looking to make it just 2 between the two sides. They've been good at this, the Pulse. They've been very, I would love to know times they've taken it back and around, how many times they've been successful. Very high, I would have thought. Under pressure, sinks it.
Wow, Pulse, no. Tactix in a pass, 2 in it.
It's just some pretty bullet passes in there. That very calm arm of Selby Rickett.
Oh, needed that.
That was a bit soft from the Tactix shooters, and they've come away with it, the Pulse, and deservedly so.
How
Look at
quickly
that.
the Pulse have punished them, getting it down the court.
Well, the last 2 moments for me, over the far side and down in that defensive circle, the Tactix have allowed the Pulse to come in and be more dominant.
Yeah,
It just shows you the intent, doesn't it? Who wants it the most? There's one in it, and they had the chance to tie it all up, the Pulse.
Goal defense on the arm. Get it beside you.
You know, with 8 minutes 20 on the clock, the score was 45-41 to the Tactix, and this run from the Pulse has been truly sensational. And the Mystics and Stars are going to do it all again at 4 o'clock up in Auckland, all on Sky Sport.
Well, it just goes to show you how important it is to play to the 60th minute. You know, the last 2 phases of play where the Tactix have lost the ball, both players have not taken their feet to the ball, which is the real basics. Got to keep doing the basics in the last quarter. And someone that's been doing it for most of the game is this young lady here, Amelia Wormsley, has really stepped up under some intense pressure in that goal circle. She's been strong in the air, showing good accuracy under the hoop.
Contact, goal defence.
Oh, that it's a jury tip, and it goes the way of the Pulse. Coming out and reading it. And there's jury giving some more instructions up court to her players. Come on, she's saying.
Grab a towel, please. They'll show you where to wipe.
So they're winning the 50-50. The really intense 50-50 are the Pulse.
It's just those little extra 2%, isn't it, that from the Pulse that we're getting. Intensity, like perhaps just that little bit more experience.
3 critical moments for me in this last quarter has made all the difference.
No, where she is, back here.
Defense. Defense.
Who's going to get the ball? And they need to bat it around.
Great hustle from Gordon. She nearly got it.
She wasn't going to give it away gently, was she?
Yeah, that's a good lead from Jury.
Big one, this one.
Goalkeeper. Yes, there, goal shooter.
Under pressure, it is Alia Dunn.
Look how quickly Gordon chases this.
But that was Coy getting her hand in there for the Tactix.
Contact, wing defence.
So 48-47, 3 minutes. Again, out jumping the defence, Amelia Wormsley.
Go back. Or you have.
On the ball, got defence. Both out.
Or you.
Wow. Who's going to break first?
Who wants it the most? Who's got the confidence to follow the game plan, to trust the skills?
A lovely option from Selby Rickett.
Contact, goal defence. You pushed her into her own place. Step aside.
Nice and up front from the umpire, just telling it how it is.
Going with the centre pass as it did in that first quarter.
Obstruction, goal attack. Advantage not out of play, goal attack.
Jane Watson went hunting.
Yeah, just slightly too late on that one. She knew it. So this is where the Pulse have got to make use of it with Watson outside the circle. One shot for Wormsley. As we see here, Watson just a smidgen too late. Gordon had two hands on the ball.
1 minute 47. Oh, and the chip away, and this could be it for the Pulse. Confusing the space, and Jury getting an all-important tip away from Aaliyah Dunn. They would have trained so much together. Dunn having, 77 matches for the Pulse now with the Tactix. Oh, beautiful feed as well. Foot out of court.
Out of court, Wormsley.
Well, she's hardly put a foot wrong, and no pun intended.
Yeah, so important for the Tactix. Just a minute 13's a long time. They've got to make use of this one.
Oh, they're just throwing everything at it. Hard overhead pass, Malcolm, and someone has to step up for either team here. And a throw and it came off Jury's hand, so 51 seconds left in this match.
Oh, God, holding my breath here.
Oh, look, just that little mini play there tells the whole story, doesn't it, of the match?
This is where the crowd could come in favour for the Tactix.
Well, they used to. Oh, that time it was a little miss in communication. You talked about it, Anna Stanley, and it instantly happens.
It's intentional contact, goal attack. That's now a warning. Next step is a suspension.
Well, you saw Tiana Maturdo's face. She didn't like that.
Well, they just need to play it around the Tactix.
13 seconds. They have a one-goal lead to the Tactix over the Pulse. Do they either have a look and sink it, or do they just keep playing it around? Oh, she just gave it away. Who's going to get the spare ball? It's Watson, who's had a brilliant game for the Tactix. It is all over, folks. They are happy, the team wearing red, and so's the coach, because they've taken this game by 50 to 49.
Well, that last quarter, holy smokes. We saw some big errors from some players, but we had intensity right from the get-go, and I think, that one goal score is a good reflection of that game. I think it was a tight tussle. There was intent from both sides. We saw the intensity, we saw some great shooting accuracy down both ends of the court, ferocious defence, and in the end it was the Tactix that had time on their side. Come away with a 1.1.
Wow. As we get our breath back, the players will be as well, and it was so intense, and obviously the senior players knew what the score was, but little tips away, and it was who wanted it. We talked about that 50-50 desire and who wanted it the most, and we thought at one stage the Pulse had it. How do you debrief a game like that? Where do you start?
Well, the Tactix, look, they'll be certainly happy with that win. They had a big win last week against the Steel. They were they wouldn't have been happy with their second half performance against the Steel. So I think, that would have been something that they would have talked about, playing more, maintaining that intensity for 4 quarters. And I think, they did that today. They had pressure on them right from the first quarter. They maintained it, they absorbed it, and came away with the ball when they needed to. And, it's just those little 2%ers that we talk about. So I think Marianne Delaney there, high-fiving her team. She'll be happy.
Yep. Well, let's go to the skipper of the Tactix, Kimmy Orapoi, because she is now with Cruz Tangida.
Yes, she is with me. Her first words were, "Oh my gosh." Kimmy, give me your thoughts on that game, because it was such a tough battle out there for both teams.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we came out firing, then they came out firing, and yeah, it was really tight right to the last minute. Oh, seconds, yeah.
Well, when it gets so tight in a game like that, what does your team need to do to ensure that the composure is still there?
I think on attack we just need to be patient and take our feet to the ball, especially against the Pulse because they run through the catch. And yeah, just position so that we can score those goals in those crucial moments.
And down at attacking end for you guys, do you feel like the key connections were coming as the game was progressing?
Yeah, I think they're slowly building. I think we're getting better each game, but as always, things to improve on.
And of course, you've got another game tomorrow night following up this close battle with the Magic. What's your preparation from now to then?
Yeah, just a bit of recovery tonight. I think we'll probably watch a little bit of their game that they played yesterday just to see how they went. And yeah, just get ready to go tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Great game tonight, Camille.
Thank you.
Also with Kelly Jury, the captain for the Pulse. Well, Cal only lost that game by 1 in the final moments. Give us your thoughts on that game.
Initially so proud of the girls. We showed so much fight in there. We could have let it slip away, but we stayed in it. Just really gutted that we had a few opportunities there to get on top, but didn't make the most of those.
Well, if you compare last week's performance against the Stars, going down by 8 to this performance, you must be proud of the step up that you've had today against the Tactix.
Yeah, huge step up, and I think both teams are so even. Such a grind of a match and so evenly matched, and yeah, just really proud that we were able to step it up from last week.
Although you did lose by 1, there was really much nothing in that game. What are those sort of finer adjustments that you need to make heading into next week?
Well, we know our game plan works, and it's just those finishing touches and those final little connections when the pressure's on.
And lastly, just talking about connections, are you happy with how the team is tracking so far?
Definitely, but there's always a next level we can go to.
Awesome, thanks so much for your time, Cal.
Thank you.
Well, they are warming down, and little T is there with Jane Watson as well. And of course, they've got another game tomorrow. But stay with us because we have got so much more on this intense match. It is the Tactix who've prevailed by 1, 50 to 49.